Okay, transgender fan. Hey, all right, look at me crossing over here. Hey, Billy, I've been listening to the podcast since I was 16. I'm 22 now and have enjoyed every episode, especially during quarantine. I'm a violinist, sculptor, and a trans man. Look at you. Definition in the next paragraph. Thank you. And have been wanting to write in for a while. After hearing you read the letter a fan sent in about his trans friends attending his wedding, I thought now would be the time. Oh, beautiful. All right, let me do the recap. So this guy was getting married, and not one but two of his friends that he was going to have be groomsmen either had transitioned or were in the process of transitioning. And he was like, am I an asshole if I don't want him to wear a dress? Okay, that was the question. So me knowing nothing about the subject, that didn't stop me from answering it. That's I believe the previous or 2 episodes ago. All right, so now we're going to actually hear from somebody living the life here. First off, I do want to clarify that by trans man, I mean I transitioned from female to male. Oh, fuck, okay. I didn't get that. I thought trans man meant you went the other way. Okay. In instrument rating, that would be reverse sensing on a VOR for all you pilots out there. In short, I'm a he. In your response to the fan that wrote in, you said that transitioning seems like a massive emotional process, and you were exactly right. Hey, look at me. Look at me. Not bad for a cis white male. When I describe the experience, which I do openly, to create a dialogue for people who are genuinely curious, I often say that transitioning is not an option, but more so the only option for most people like me. Let me ask you this. Before you totally committed, was there any doubt like, okay, I hope, because, I mean, I hope I'm doing the right, I hope I'm getting this right. Because I can't tell you how many times I've misread my feelings. I mean, but the stakes were not that high. That's like fucking, you're going all in with the chips, so to speak. Anyway, he goes, imagine you wake up one day with boobs and are expected to wear heels. After the novelty of having 24/7 access to tits wears off, it fucking sucks. Let me read this again. Imagine you wake up one day with boobs and are expected to wear heels. All right, now wait a minute. I thought you transitioned from a woman to a man. I mean, I transitioned from female to male. Okay. Says, imagine you wake. Oh, maybe he's putting me in this. I don't know. Imagine you wake up one day with boobs and are expected to wear heels. After the novelty of having 24/7 access to tits wears off, it fucking sucks. Nobody chooses to go through all of that trouble of being alienated from friends and family members on a whim. Well, there you go. You just answered my question. For me, if I wanted to have a future post-high school, I had to make this step, and I have avoided a lot of further mental dissonance thanks to the scientists and surgeons who advocated for trans medicine. And yes, I will always trust the opinions of a scientist over a politician. Fair enough. As the wedding scenario goes, I can guarantee his trans grooms were just as conflicted as him. I also came out right before a relative's wedding and was given an ultimatum of, you either lie about your identity if you want to remain a part of this family, or you won't be welcomed back into our lives. That is just fucking... Can you imagine your family saying that to you? I ended up playing violin at their ceremony for free and never getting invited to another family reunion. Wow. That is really fucking sad. I'm sorry that happened to you. Hopefully, Jesus, in the near future, that doesn't happen. How do you disown your own kid? I don't get that. I don't get that. I mean, I draw the line of, hearing my kid leave and then getting charged with it at night and covering for a murder. I mean, there are lines. Yeah, you do some Dateline shit, I mean, you're kind of out on your own. But I'd still visit you when you went to jail, and I would be like, where did I fuck up that made you do something like that? Anyway, personally, if I were asked to be a bridesmaid before coming out as a guy, I would have stepped down because I don't want to be the one guy in a traditionally female role. I'm betting this guy's trans grooms people felt similar. I have to fucking do the math on that. I would have stepped down because I don't want to be the one guy in a traditionally female role. I don't know what that means. I'm betting this guy's trans grooms people felt similar. I hope you guys understood what that meant. I didn't get that one sentence. Okay, and here's where the rant opens up. All right, here we go. Taking the gloves off there. All right, a lot of trans people are really pissed by the false and performative allyship the far left has dumped on us with little work to back their claims up. Yeah, it's a fucking show. That's what I think so much of that liberal social justice fucking horseshit is. It's just for you to put on a little performance on your social media page, and people can be like, oh, wow, you're an ally. Here's your little rainbow fucking emoji. And then you can just go back to living your life, and you're not getting your hands dirty. It's like those white people that marched with Black Lives Matter as they were live Instagramming themselves. Like, look at me. I have a bandana on. I'm a fucking revolutionary. And then after that, they just went back to their life. Got CrossFit in the morning. We are identifying more as independents because we've experienced hate from the right and tokenism from the left. Oh, yeah, you get used. I mean, which is worse? At least, I mean, I know the hate, if it escalates to violence, is bad, but at least if somebody's just straight up says how they feel about you, as opposed to just using you. Anyway, I think a lot of your jokes about trans people are actually more about performative cis people. I don't know what cis means, who are using trans issues for votes because they know we are a very vulnerable group. Well, they kind of do that with everybody. I guess that's the only positive way. Politicians always do that. They're always fucking looking for some fucking angle for themselves. Anyway, but not all of them. They're not all bad. There's got to be some good ones in there. Trans people just want to live a normal life, start a family, and not be claimed as a political pawn. I was at my lowest depression before I started hormones and got my chest masculinization procedure. What chest did you go with? Are they good enough that you can pick one out? Because personally speaking, I would go fucking Matthew McConaughey. But here's the thing. You know what's funny is if they actually get it down someday where you could do that, all of these fucking people who are like anti-trans and all of that shit, if they find out that you can actually get a Matthew McConaughey chest and they're looking at their fucking man tits, they might do it. You know? I got the McConaughey. You know, right before they fucking put the fucking gas on your face, you have headphones, and the last thing you hear is Matthew McConaughey going, all right, all right, all right. And you wake up with a chiseled tan chest. That'd be fucking hilarious if I did that as a redhead and my chest didn't match the whiteness of my head. Then I have to go reverse Michael Jackson, and do a reverse bleaching. Anyway, let's not make this about you, Bill. Anyway, he says, I haven't left the house in weeks. I hadn't left the house in weeks and nearly dropped out of school. Since transitioning, I'm happy, back on stage, volunteering, writing music. That's great. Teaching violin students, running my small business. There you go. Don't work for somebody else. And I have met someone special. Oh, look at you. I know from an outside perspective, being trans seems crazy. If you knew the thunder and lightning between my fucking ears, I don't think anybody's crazy. I think it's fucking crazy to go through life and not think that you're kind of fucking nuts yourself. Walking around thinking you have it all figured out. I think that's fucking crazy. I'm not going to lie to you. Like shit freaks me out without a doubt. I'm not saying this shit, but I will tell you when Bruce became Caitlyn, there was definitely, a what the fuck moment. Now I'm used to it. But what was weird about that was if you were like me, you weren't for some reason allowed to have that what the fuck moment. Which is one of those things that the left is like psychotic with. It's like you got You got to let everybody kind of go through their emotions. As long as they're not hurting anybody, you're processing it. That's all, right? So anyway, this person says, I felt the same way until I realized I would always be an angry, sad person if I had stayed in the closet. I started listening to your podcast the same month I came out back in 2017 and have not been offended by the jokes about trans people. Contrary to what the far left or right wants you to think, trans folk have a pretty thick skin and we're no strangers to having to advocate for our rights. I've been doing a lot of work on undoing the anger I built up over my teenage years, and listening to your show has given me laughs when I needed them the most. Thanks and go fuck yourself. Wasn't that great? Look at me, huh? I'm going to make that whole fucking thing about me. You know, the appeal of me is just really amazing. And you guys, I just want to say, as a podcast justice warrior, all right, so if anybody is listening to this and your kid is gay and they came out and you disowned them, can you not do that to them? That's such a fucking horrible, horrible thing to do to somebody. It really is. It really is. It's like, just try to be, just fucking work your way through it. You know what I mean? It's, I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. That happens to me with one of my kids. I mean, it's you. Just be who the fuck you are and don't be a fucking asshole to other people. That's all I ask. Can you just do that? Great.